had already spoken about some of the bigger PS5 exclusives coming out in 2021 in another video. However, there are even more timed and console exclusives coming up on Sony's current gen hardware. So let's take a look at them. GRANBLUE Fantasy RELINK. It's been a long time since Cygames first announced GRANBLUE Fantasy RELINK. Announced in 2016 as the first full-fledged console RPG in the series, it was initially being co-developed by Cygames and Platinum Games, before Platinum were taken off the project and development moved completely in-house at Cygames in 2019. Since then, however, updates on the game have been scant, leaving many to wonder when it will release and what the state of the project currently is. However, it was confirmed that GRANBLUE Fantasy RELINK will now launch in 2022. In addition to that, a PS5 version of the game was also confirmed. Then again, given its 2022 launch window, a cross-gen release isn't really the most surprising thing. Heavenly Bodies. Previously announced for Windows and Mac, Two Point Interactive's Heavenly Bodies will also be coming to the PS5 and PS4 this year. As the name suggests, the gameplay will focus heavily on physics. The official website of the game describes it as, quote, wrangle the hands and arms of cosmonauts and push, pull, and twist your way through a precarious range of physically simulated stellar scenarios, where, without gravity, nothing is still, nothing is secure, and nothing is simple. The game can be played in both solo and local co-op modes. The Nioh Collection. While developer Team Ninja has said that the Nioh series has now reached a rest point and will be on ice for the foreseeable future, it will have one last hooray next month with the Nioh Collection. Collecting remastered versions of Nioh and Nioh 2 for Sony's PS5, it also aims to really take advantage of the new hardware. When the collection was announced, it was said that it would have graphical modes going up to 120 FPS, but no specific details were given. It seems you have three options. One is a 4K 60 FPS option, another is a 120 FPS, but with the game staying at 1080p, and then a third, which they are calling just PS5 Standard. The last will keep the game at 1080p and 60 FPS, but will include more detailed graphical effects such as shadows, foliage, and model textures. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. The developers haven't revealed much information about Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach other than the fact that the game will use, quote, cutting-edge gaming technology on the PS5, along with real-time ray tracing and utilizing the console's fast SSD and 3D audio. Oddworld Soulstorm. Oddworld Soulstorm, a ground-up reimagining of Oddworld Abe's Exodus, to the point that it's basically a completely new game, was one of many games that Sony showed off last year. The game will take advantage of the PS5 hardware, such as 3D audio, as well as utilizing the DualSense controller, letting you feel Abe's heart palpitations, and the triggers adapting to situations where he struggles. Oddworld Soulstorm will be releasing later this year for PS5, PS4, and PC. On PC, it will be exclusive to the Epic Games Store. JETT: The Far Shore. JETT: The Far Shore is a cinematic action-adventure game with a stunning art style and gorgeous visuals. The game is due this year and will be a PlayStation console exclusive. Quote, underneath JETT's cinematic narrative and the distinct Super Brothers tone, there's a broad systemic open world to roam around in, and pockets of threat or mystery to problem solve. There's nothing quite like this mix, revealed Patrick, who is the technical lead at Pine Scented. As you can probably imagine, the game will focus on exploration, finding your own memorable moments, along with an in-depth endgame. Babylon's Fall. One game that we've eagerly awaited new information on is Babylon's Fall from Square Enix. Developed by Platinum Games of Nier Automata fame, the title was revealed at E3 2018 for PS4 and PC. It was slated to release in 2019, but its absence at E3 2019 and subsequent lack of information has scuttled that idea. Fortunately, the developer offered an update on Twitter and revealed that the game is, quote, continuing to progress well. Given that the game was announced as a PS4 console exclusive, it's likely the game will now also be available on PS5. The Pedestrian. Now here is a really weird game, a game based on the public sign system. In The Pedestrian, you take on the role of a 2.5 character and your job is to arrange public signs and make it through each level. The game will feature two modes, play mode and puzzle mode. According to the developer, quote, in play mode, you control the main character, while puzzle mode allows you to edit the layout of the puzzle. Project Awakening: Arise. Cygames' action RPG Project Awakening has looked like a very intriguing title ever since we first found out it even exists. But the problem is that the developer has been very quiet about their game on all fronts. It was announced years ago, which was followed by complete radio silence. And then at 2018's Tokyo Game Show, we got to see an excellent looking teaser trailer for the game, which gave us a taste of what to expect from the final project. Other than that though, we've heard or seen nothing and have no idea when the game might launch. Given that the game was announced for the PS4, it's likely the game will now also be available on PS5. MAQUETTE. MAQUETTE is described as a, quote, recursive puzzle game, where the player modifies the size of different buildings and structures. Traversing closer to the world's center will make things bigger, while backing out makes them smaller. This is set against the backdrop of problems and obstacles in a, quote, modern-day love story. It will release for PS4, PS5, and PC. F.I.S.T. Forged in Shadow Torch. F.I.S.T. Forged in Shadow Torch will be getting a PS5 release, along with the PS4 and PC builds. According to the developer, quote, it is built around the trio of weapons Rayton brings with him into battle, the mechanized fist, drill, and whip. Each has its own unique features and combo chains. The fist is a good all-rounder, with the easiest combo strings of the three. The drill is slower to deploy, but deals out the most damage. In direct contrast, the whip isn't as powerful, but is lightning quick and also boasts the farthest attack range. Yet you will need to become adept at using all three to survive your travels through the dense cityscape. The game releases this spring. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Yes, we know that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but at this point, we all know the sequel is coming to the PS5. Insomniac Games themselves have hinted at its existence last year. Back in June, they stated the following on the official PlayStation blog, quote, "Oh, and one last thing. Many of you fans have wondered if Peter Parker is okay. Don't worry, we still have much of Peter's story left to tell." So I guess that pretty much seals the deal.
You are everything that's wrong with this city!
Huh. I was gonna say the same to you.
You know what to do, man!
And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.